Welcome to the first video of Bleeding Rainbow Comics. I'm LJ.
I'm Lynn.
Sound so confident about that. And yeah, in a time where the internet is full of toxicity and grossness, we thought that we would just, have a fun voice, non-toxic, chill, not attack anybody for liking things, and just saying. And just have an overall spot for us to talk about our favorite nerdy stuff and stuff that we're doing with our business and all of that. It's been a very busy week for Marvel, so we thought that we would go ahead and start this week. It's a little bit earlier than we anticipated, but we figured with as much stuff going on that we would bite the bullet, try it, and whatever things need fixed or improved between this and our next video, I guess we will
do better.
I don't know. We always try to do better. I can't really speak to see if we actually can. And because I do not have a cable that I thought that I had, instead of looking at a secondary monitor for anything we're going to be discussing, we have our iPads. You can see the ring light in it. So if we are looking down here, we are not ignoring you. We are just looking at our pictures because we are way too blind to see it on the little monitor down here. All right, so today we have a few things to talk about. Like I said, Marvel's had a busy week. So we had the Agatha All Along teaser trailer. We also had the Captain America Brave New World trailer. And some speculation and rumors and all of that good stuff going on throughout the internet. So the first thing that we're going to be looking at is the Agatha All Along trailer. We have already watched it numerous times, so we are going to not do a reaction video to that because that would be very not genuine. Although I could watch it about a gajillion times and still react the same way, but we will say, yeah, I'll do the fake YouTube. Do it for the thumbnail. We are just going to discuss it a little bit, look at some character pictures, and I decided that since we're not doing a trailer reaction, that I would pick 3 stills from the trailer that we could talk about and speculate, see what's going on. Just do something a little bit different. So we're different. So we might as well do something else different.
It's kind of a blind reaction for me because you set up all the technical stuff.
That is true. I set up all of the technology stuff. So yeah, as a reminder, you look right here. It's this camera, not this one. So yes, this has been my entire weekend getting this ready. Like I said, far earlier than I wanted to. But it's Agatha, and I want to talk about Agatha because I've been waiting for this for years at this point, and anybody that knows me, Marvel Mystic is my jam. So if nothing else, this very unprofessional video is for Agatha. So first off, I guess, what are your overall thoughts on the trailer? Any speculation? What do you think the show is going to be about? We don't really have that much information on it. So I'll do you first. I've done all the talking. So ready to go. Well, let's start with what was your reaction? Like, positive, negative? This is stupid. This is great. But
I wasn't excited as you were about it, but then after watching the trailer, I'm a lot more comfortable.
Anything specific about the trailer that made you more excited, or?
I liked the gay gasp.
I also liked the gay gasp. He clutched his pearls. He was ready. But no, I'm all for it. We are huge Joe Locke fans, Heartstopper fans. And I feel like on my end, this show was very much made for our community. So thank you, Marvel. We have Catherine Hahn, we have Joe Locke, we have Aubrey Plaza, we have Patti LuPone. So basically, take my brain, put it in a smoothie, and put it in a Marvel project, and this is pretty much what you get. So I don't know if anybody else wants it, but I certainly do, and I'm excited for it. My immediate things that I'm excited for the show, based on the trailer, I did like how dark it seemed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that people are saying that it's going to be like a true horror thing, and I knowing Marvel, I know that that's going to be toned down from what I picture a horror series being.
Yeah, I mean, didn't they say that about Werewolf by Night?
They said that about Werewolf by Night. They also said that about Multiverse of Madness. And while both of those things had creepy elements, I didn't really feel like they were like scary. So I have a feeling I did get hardcore Sabrina vibes from it, which I liked.
Yeah.
And so even if it's that cheesy Netflix teen horror, edgy
Sabrina, Wednesday.
Yeah, this is very
Dead Boy Detectives, like that kind of.
Yes. It very much feels like Netflix's answer to Wednesday, and I'm all for it because, again, anybody that knows me knows that I am all for spooky season, and Marvel Mystic, and Wiccan is my favorite Marvel character, and Wanda, and like every other game. So let's dive into it. What do you think that this show is going to be about?
I don't know. I have a few theories. Like, well, obviously, it's going to be Agatha getting her shit back.
Stella got her groove back.
Yeah. I mean, that's obviously the premise of it. But other than that, I mean, we need to figure out that Wiccan is Wiccan and all that. But at the end, do you think that there'll be a Wanda tease?
So I was actually going to talk about that a little bit later in the video, but we'll go ahead and do it now. So I think for those that haven't seen it, who hasn't, one, ever since we know that Joe Locke was cast and we saw it, we always speculated that he would be playing Billy / Wiccan, one of Wanda's kids. But Variety actually put an article out in which they listed him as Wiccan instead of this generic goth teen that Marvel seems very adamant that he be labeled instead of Billy. I think that Wanda might be teased. I think that this series is more of a setup on how to bring Wanda back. I don't think she will be back. I think if she does pop up, it'll be very much like how it is in the trailer where it's Agatha imagining her.
Misdirect.
Yeah, it's a misdirect. And there are a lot of people saying like, oh, Wanda's dead in the trailer, or what if this is 838 Wanda? And I don't think any of those things are the case. I think that Agatha just has no solid sense of reality currently, and I think that it's visions, it's flashing, it's not there. Like I think she's projecting it on a different person because it's very much Mayor of Easttown.
It changes in the trailer, the body.
Yeah, the body changes in the trailer, and just the overall, like, Agatha herself even changes in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like,
also, that rumor about which Wanda it is, I feel only got started because their outfits look similar, but like it's a generic gray and blue sweat, and what she wore in the movie didn't have a hood, did it? And in the trailer, that outfit had a hood covering the head.
True. Also, the body, when we do see the close up, and I don't think it's there all of the time, but it has the Darkhold fingers and Darkhold toes, which was weird. But 838 never touched the Darkhold, and we saw 616 Wanda destroy the Darkholds across the multiverse. So,
well, and that was before the body changed in general too, a completely different body. So,
yeah,
I think that was part of her dream sequence because she was like a detective or something.
Yeah, she's losing her crap. She's still in the text. She's fighting out of it.
Which I don't understand because it's not really the persona she was when Wanda left her in WandaVision. She was kind of the nosy neighbor.
Yeah.
So I guess the detective was kind of a nosy neighbor, but
yeah, I mean that's like the ultimate nosy. But I think that it's a little less consistent with how Wanda was in the Hex because Wanda, for the most part, was coherent in the Hex, and every time they changed decades, the people around them didn't have the exact same personality.
Yeah.
Like it was similar, but it wasn't exact every time.
Nosy neighbor pulled into the 21st century.
Yeah. So now we're all the way through the decades. We got through all the decades in WandaVision, and I think that we're at the tail end of it. And she's still in a TV Hex for now. And then Aubrey Plaza comes in as BA as she is. Claw your way out. So
Let's just hope there's no more dogs in this show.
I'm gonna hope that they retcon her killing Sparky because I love Agatha, but we just ignore Sparky. So let's look at some character designs. I actually think through all of that, I want to say, because we know that it is about the Witch's Road, which in the comics, witchcraft is like broken or malfunctioning, and Wanda has to go through the Witch's Road to get it fixed. And it's this whole big journey. I believe it is James Robinson that wrote it. I have it over there in a detolf somewhere. I'm not going to look at it right now. Can you Google it? But it actually is bringing Agatha back from the dead. So I'm thinking that it's bringing Wanda back, maybe. Part of me doesn't think that she's going to be back because I feel it's too big of a thing to happen in a TV show.
What is the cliffhanger of the TV show?
See, I don't know, because I think the next Mystic thing we see in the MCU, either she's going to come back and people are just going to complain that something that important happened in the TV show, or they're just going to introduce this way of bringing her back and then address it. I personally think based on what has been released of it, we know that the Witch's Road grants you like what you need. And so I think Agatha needs her power back. And I'm speculating that Joe Locke's character, Wiccan, or Billy or Goth Team, I'm speculating that he will want Wanda back. And so maybe that's if he knows who he is or whatever. I don't know. It's really convoluted in the comics. So I don't
it
actually
could even
know.
just be like he wants his mom. He doesn't know his mom.
That's fair. And then Agatha's like, oh crap. Oops. But I think that that's kind of the overall journey is they want to go on the Witch's Road to get what they need most. And I think that just different events happen on the Witch's Road, like trials. And that's why the trailer is so weird and there's so many different odd things that happen throughout the trailer, because I think each one is like a stage of the Witch's Road. But yeah, let's look at some characters. So, boom. So go to your second slide. So first up, we have our Clutching Pearls gasp of Precious Joe Locke. I wanted to include a few different pictures of Catherine Hahn. So we have the business attire that she's in for most of the trailer, and I feel like she's going to be in for most of the show.
So I love that look.
Oh, I do too. And that would be a super easy cosplay, whatever. I also added the old-fashioned Agatha, which I think is a flashback. I think that's when she took powers from like another coven, and that.
I think that a lot of the show is going to be time jumping, like from her life. So it's kind of a play off of WandaVision because that went through time periods with the TV. I think this will go through time periods of her life.
I would be all for that. I would like to. She's old. Like I would like to see more of her life, and I think that we'll get that with Aubrey Plaza's character Rhea Vidal, because she's supposed to be like an ex-girlfriend of Agatha. So I mean, we'll at least get some context in there. I think that all of the characters, I think that they look good. So we already talked about the left and bottom. So the top right photo we have from left to right, we have Jennifer Kale. In the comics, I know she's a witch from the comics. I know there's a possibility she's like an Atlantean witch. I don't think that they'll do that here. Yeah. She's super powerful in the comics, and at one point, I think Doctor Strange almost recruits her to be like Sorcerer Supreme or something, and then says no at the last second. But he found her, so go him. We have Joe Locke in a very comfy sweater that I would like to own. We have Deborah Jo Rupp. And what's her? Sharon Davis was her name from WandaVision. And Mrs. Hart in the Hex. I personally don't think that she's going to play a witch. I just think that she's just going to be along for the ride. And then on the right, we have Alice, who is a new character for this. I would prefer they use Nico Minori, but that's on me. So she, based on set photos, she's like a security guard at the Westview Mall. And so my speculation for her is that she is a descendant of a witch. Maybe one that Agatha knew, or one of her past covens, or she just has a connection to magic. And Agatha's like, you'll do. I need a coven. But that's my thing. I don't think that she does magic before the show. I just think that it's in her ancestry somehow. And they're all trying to figure out their crap. We'll go to the next one, because why not? I know the show's called Agatha, but we've talked about her a lot. So we have a couple of pictures of Rio. I went ahead and included the left one because it's baller, but two, because I think that that's from a flashback.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and if it isn't, that's still fine.
It
She
has
looks awesome.
a very much feel of like when we did her flashback in WandaVision, like her first, Agatha's first heaven.
Yeah.
It has a lot of those feels to it. So maybe she was a survivor.
And then, so we have closer looks at all the other cast members, including Patti LuPone, who looks fabulous. She's very Halloween Town, Grandma Aggie. I'm all here for it. I don't care if it's cheesy. I don't care if this is the most low budget show ever, which it's not because it's Marvel. But she's a boss, and she's doing the Wanda head tilt. So I'm all for that. Also, Jennifer Hale and Alice look pretty cool, but I don't know as much about their characters, so I'll just say you look cool. And Sharon, I like your hat. Moving on.
I hope she just plays Kitty from that Sunday show.
She kind of does. She like a very traumatized kid, said Kitty. All right, so time for 3 stills from the show, and we are going to give our speculation about what is going on. What do you think is happening with this Ouija board and all of their cool watches?
Yeah, I don't know who this would be for, because this is like early 2000s, late 90s.
If it would be for you, that's your. You
but like
have one of those watches, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, if you look at the watch, it's definitely old school, early 2000s. So who would this thing be for?
I mean, we said that, or my theory is that there's different stages on the Witch's Road, and I think that each stage might correlate to one of the members of their new kind of giant coven. I think that this might be part of a memory for one of them, or it's just related to something from their past. So maybe this could even be part of Agatha's past, or I mean, actually, no, I'm going to change my mind because...
Doesn't this one girl look a lot like Aubrey Plaza?
Yes, it is.
It is her?
Yep.
Well, then, I don't know. These look like teenagers.
They're very much dressed like 80s, 90s teenagers in gym class.
So it's weird because, like, we saw that one photo of her in the green robe that looked like it was from the past.
Yeah. I mean, the person, I actually think that this might be for Billy.
You think that he's too young to have been this age in that time period?
We don't know how he's brought back.
That's true. That's true.
And if he has any memories from wwhatever body he took over, or wherever he sprouted from, whatever hot tub time machine is going on.
I mean, I could full on.
Because who else? It's very much, I got bullied in a 90s gym class. And it just fits his character.
It is very grunge goth. Nice look.
Yeah. So I don't know. I am going to assume that this is summoning whatever demon we saw from the trailer.
Oh yeah, that could also fit.
I don't know why that's happening in the show, but I'm going to assume that is with that. I also want to guess that this is earlier on in the show, like episode 3.
Oh, I would even say like just setting it up wise, so could be all the way to episode 1, couldn't it?
I don't know how long.
Maybe not 1.
It depends how long the episodes are going to be.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there's 9 episodes, which probably means that they're shorter. It's true. Disney Plus, not Netflix, so they're probably going to be 9 short.
Yeah, Netflix is kind of short too. So I don't know. They're probably gonna be short. They're always too short, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I want like hour-long shows.
Like WandaVision made sense because the episodes were like the length of time one of those episodes of those shows were. But I don't want that for this. I want like full Sabrina hour. I think that was an hour.
It was about an hour, I think. But yeah, I want hour-long. Like I'm greedy. I want as much story as possible.
Oh, I do too, because there's no guarantee that we're going to get Agatha and Wiccan post this. So Wiccan is probably more likely because this whole show, in my opinion, is just introducing him. That's the whole point of it. But I never thought that I would get Wiccan in a popular Marvel media thing anyways. So
we better get more of him because we need Hulkling.
We better get more of them because I need more cosplay things. But yeah, agreed. So let's go on to the next one.
Zappity zap zap.
We have the zaps. Probably get checked by a doctor for that. I think I had that once. But what do you think? I'll let you lead this one.
Is this goes into her wearing the funky hat? Agatha wearing the funky hat, you think?
Yes, and I also believe that they're gonna have the Wizards of Waverly Place cast doing the funky hat song. But I think
because that looks like the same time period as funky hat.
It does. What I don't know is if that is current and that these are. I haven't looked at it in as much detail to look at outfits and stuff, but I don't know if these are the same people, like the current coven, or if this is like a past coven that she took over. For me, it could go either way. It could be she's stealing power from another coven, or
I mean, it looks like they're willingly. I mean, she is not blocking at all or doing like a sucky thing to get the power.
Anyhow,
they're very much just blasting her, and she is.
Well, and who knows? Because she wasn't in the episode 8 of WandaVision. She wasn't blasting them either. She was just like, "Give it to me." I think a theme of this is they're going to have to work together, even though they don't want to. So it could be the current cast working together, giving Agatha power to defeat, I don't know, the demon or something. Let's go to the next one. Last one. They arrive at Hogwarts. You have to.
There we go.
So what's happening here? There's a castle. It's only Agatha and Billy. I don't know where everybody else went.
They were sacrificed along the trail.
I mean,
this is the end.
It does very much give Citadel at the end of time vibes. So if this were like episode, if it were Latveria, that would be cool, and that would be very Children's Crusade comics accurate, and that would be a way to bring Wanda back.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Latveria because there is no way that they are going to introduce Doctor Doom in a Disney Plus show, especially one that they know is a little bit more on the niche side.
That is very true. People would riot.
They rioted when Beast was in a post-credit scene for the Marvels when they refused to watch Marvels.
Which I don't understand because he looked awesome.
He did look awesome, and the Marvels was an amazing movie. And everybody that doesn't agree with me can shove it and go watch a different channel or something. So what do we think is happening with this castle other than maybe you're at Latveria?
I mean, this is very much end of season vibes. So, I mean, it could be a number of things. They lost their entire crew to whatever demon was chasing them. They're going to get.
They all died from the gay.
I mean, how ironic is it going to be if Wiccan Billy is looking for his mom, who he doesn't know who it is, and neither does Agatha, and she's after the power, and they end up being the same person that they need.
But they only needed themselves the entire time. The power was within all along. I mean, I think it gives us the thing that makes me think it's the end of the series is everybody else is gone. It's either that, or if every stage of the Witch's Road is particular to one witch, and they're like, okay, we have to do this one. The other ones are off taking care of something else, or they got spooked. Oh no, it's Agatha. She can't work with anybody.
Oh, she's standing next to
She's
her
standing
gay
in front of
sidekick.
Yeah, listen, we all got a gay sidekick.
Which one of us is the gay sidekick?
I mean, I'll be the gay sidekick if it means that I get to make less money.
You make more than me.
Exactly. So if I'm the sidekick, I'm doing a lot less things with my life.
But yeah, I just hope it's Latveria. I know it probably won't be, but I hope it is.
Fair. I don't know, because as much as we were teased in WandaVision about like Mephisto and all that stuff, and RIP Eric Voss's ego. If by any chance Eric Voss ever watches this, I love new rock stars, don't hate me. Like with Wanda, it could be Chthon. Like they have really stressed that in the comics lately. And since this is, I think, a comic from 2016, we're doing more recent stuff. Mainly because other than House of M, Wanda just hasn't really had any stories in the comics. But I don't know, maybe this is going back to the origins of the Darkhold and stuff, if we're doing time jumpy stuff. Because we did see, no, it was Cagliostro and What If. We saw him. So, and Cagliostro, like the book of Cagliostro from Doctor Strange. So why can't we see Chthon? I feel like that's more of a villain that we would only see in this show. That wouldn't go past.
That's
this
true,
show. And
he would fit with the Sabrina-y scary vibes.
Yeah, and I don't want it to be Mephisto because I'm Mephisto. Also, isn't Mephisto supposed to be an Ironheart? Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh yeah, she is. Or he is.
Listen, it's Mephisto. He, she, whatever.
I mean, I would love it if Mephisto was a woman, but again, riots.
I don't want Mephisto to be a woman just because then that would give rage bait people excuses to be like, women are evil. If only you knew. All right. Let's go on. So that's wrapping up Agatha. What's your wish list for Agatha? We have very little information.
I would love for Billy and Wanda to have screen time together. I know it won't happen, but that if I'm putting whatever I want on my wish list, I would love for them to connect.
I'll put that on my wish list. I know we'll get that eventually. There's been multiple reputable sources that have said Wanda is coming back. Maybe not as soon as we want, which makes me think that we won't get real Wanda in here. Maybe we'll get like a Vision-y one, not like Android Vision, but like a fake. I see this. Yeah,
I think we get it.
I don't get it. I want Wiccan to get a super suit. He doesn't need his moniker because his moniker is I'm a witch. Like we get it. I just want to see more of him. And I know that a lot of people are saying that, oh, Wiccan is a lot more flamboyant than in the comics. You have to realize that Young Avengers came out in early 2000s. Like you could not have made, like the anti-woke crowd would have lost their minds even more than they do now.
I was a gay 2000s and I'm way more flamboyant now.
Same. I can't speak to that. I've been super gay since '93. But the way that they've written him more recently, he's gotten more flamboyant. He's gotten more comfortable in his own, a more fleshed out character other than the child of Wanda and other than just, oh, my entire character arc is my relationship with Hulkling, which I am all for. But they've given him more actual personality because he used to be like a little whiny.
Yeah, but especially during their wedding issues, he was very flamboyant, especially on their honeymoon.
I'll say on their honeymoon, I am all for flamboyant Speedo Wiccan. But
I am interested to see what they will have the suit look like with the full galaxy thing.
I don't think they would do that. I think it would be more of like a Wanda suit.
Yeah, I can see it. It's just I'm just interested because They could do a whole galaxy washover thing. That's what they did with the god at the end with Thor.
Infinity?
Yeah.
I mean, they could, but that was for a god, not a character that they need to be on screen for a long amount of time. And Infinity didn't really move. She just kind of sat there.
Okay.
So I don't think they'll do the galaxy effect on his outfit if he does get one. I think it'll very much be more of a WandaVision-y, similar to what's his face's rendition, Carlos Jesus thing. It just everybody knows his art. I don't know if anybody knows who he is, but
let's just get a gay glitter version of Wanda's suit.
That's any drag show ever. We already have that. I want something unique to look Joe Locke and something that neckbeards can't angry fat to. So let's move on to the Captain America Brave New World trailer. Again, we have already seen this trailer, so we're not going to do a fake reaction video. We're just going to talk about it, look at some character stills, and I picked three stills, and we're gonna just kind of speculate a little bit. I will admit, I am not as affluent in the political soldier part of the MCU. So I like Marvel Mystic, I can sit here and talk for 12 hours. I've already been rambling for however long. But this for me is going to be very straightforward, to the punch. I don't know who some of these characters are. I've never read a comic book with some of these characters in them. And the only reason I know who Ruth is because she was made famous from a Happy Meal toy. So I'm a Ruth stan. I guess she seems cool. But looking at Anthony Mackie, and I went ahead and included a picture from Falcon and Winter Soldier just so we can compare suits.
Yeah, I haven't decided which suit I like better. Because
that was kind of the purpose of this slide, is just discussing how he looks in his new suit versus
the end. I will be honest, I hated the white when I first saw it in Falcon and Winter Soldier. But it's grown on me over time. And I feel like this new suit for the movie is a little too close to Steve Rogers. Like, I think Sam needs to be individual. Yes, he has the wings, which is awesome. But I don't know. I just feel it's not Sam enough. It's too.
My hope for it, because, I mean, it looks like he has the same wings. It's just a different front. My hope for it, because I actually like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier suit way better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for me, that's also his comic suit. It looks super sharp. It would be impossible to keep clean. So maybe that's why they wanted to change it. I do think that the new one looks a little too Steve Rogers. Yeah. But it also, to me, the first one looks like a superhero suit. And the second one looks like a military suit. And going off of what this trailer seems to be about, making Captain America an actual military position, I think it makes sense for the story.
That is true. Maybe he'll go back to a version of it.
I hope so. I want the white suit. I think it looks slick. But
not an MCU movie without 3 wardrobe changes.
And I will buy all of the merch for all 3 wardrobe changes. But I think overall, based on the trailer, I think the overall plot is going to be more of, so Harrison Ford is wanting Captain America to be a military position.
Yes.
So he's recruiting for that, but I think he has nefarious reasons. And that we'll get into more of that in the scene breakdown.
Okay.
But it is very much, I think he does take him up on that offer, and I think he does join, because he wants to give the benefit of the doubt, and he wants to play nice. And I think he would have more opportunity to be an advocate for his causes if he were an actual government position, as opposed to a general superhero, all that good stuff. So moving forward, we have our first look at Harrison Ford, Red Hulk, and Giancarlo Esposito, an undisclosed role. I have no guesses for this role. Like I said, I don't really read comics that would
I haven't
have.
heard who he would be either. Like no speculators or anything like that.
I've heard speculations, but there's always been those articles of, oh, he has debunked this, he has addressed this, which means nothing. He could be Andrew Garfielding you for all you know. I just think he looks cool. I think that after the damage that Secret Invasion did to Nick Fury, I think that his sole purpose in this movie is to be the new Nick Fury. Which is sad because I love Sam Jackson.
Yeah. I also love John. So.
Well, he also in this trailer, he looks cool as heck. Like, and I'm all for it. I'm not going to be mad. So if Sam Jackson wants to go play with Miss Marvel, in that corner, the sillier cosmic whatever.
There goes the rumors of him playing Magneto. Have you heard those rumors?
I haven't heard those. I think maybe when he first got cast, but I don't think so because I believe they only added his character in reshoots. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be
only reshoots, but still, I mean,
I don't think he's going to be that important. I think he's there just to be like, oh, this movie's cool, and
exactly. So
it's working. He looks
the
cool.
rumors of him being cast as Magneto. They're not going to cast him as Magneto if he's an extra in this movie and in the trailer of all places.
I mean, that's fair. We are getting Deadpool and Wolverine beforehand, so I don't know if they would, because Deadpool Wolverine seems more of like a love letter to the past casting for those. So I don't know. Maybe I would be very down for a race bent Magneto. I don't know how that would.
I think it makes sense
his origin, but with it being 2024 into 2025, by the time this comes out, like you can't have him be World War II. That's his trauma origin.
I think that race bending him makes the most sense because it's still a traumatic event he could have went through.
He's still a marginalized people.
Exactly. So I mean, I think that race bending that character does make sense.
I mean, I'm all for it. He seems cool as heck. And I didn't include it in this, I don't think, but there is one scene, I did not include it, in the trailer where he's just literally standing there and an explosion comes. And I know that this happens in every action movie where somebody's like very chill and there's a big old explosion behind them.
He pulls it off.
I don't know. It was just cooler than I've ever seen it. Harrison Ford. I know that a lot of people are going to be excited to have Harrison Ford in this movie.
One of them.
You're one of them. You're also a Star Wars fan. I personally don't have an attachment to him, but I'm excited for him. I think he's going to do a good job. The only thing that you don't like, though, is
mustache. He needs a mustache.
Yeah, I think Harrison Ford wouldn't pull off a mustache very well.
Well, I think he opted to not wear one. I think he said he wouldn't wear one.
I was going to say it's Harrison Ford. He can choose if he wants a mustache or not.
But I think they should have made him because I want to see Red Hulk with a mustache. They should have just did the Superman and digitally put in a mustache.
I've never really read that much with Red Hulk, so I could take the mustache or leave it. I think that the main appeal is going to be seeing Harrison Ford's face over top of a Hulk body.
Yeah, it's going to be jarring.
It's already jarring.
My head canon, he's on Solo as Red Hulk.
He just got really angry. That's what happened when he died. Spoilers. But yeah, I think he looks good. I do not think that the CGI is complete for this trailer.
I hope not.
It's the movie doesn't come out until February, so
it's very She-Hulk CGI.
Listen, don't add any negativity to Jen Walter. She's perfect. I love She-Hulk.
I mean, I love the show too, but parts I didn't. But overall, I like
the fact that it ended. We'll be positive. But yeah, I like how he looks. I don't care that he doesn't have a mustache. I think that would be super weird and forced. But
they would have been forcing Harrison Ford to have a mustache.
You will grow a mustache. I just like his little condescending clap.
Yeah. Is an awkward gesture. It's very
Just-
very
old man clap. Moving on to the last page of characters, we have. Oh, I went way too far ahead. We have in the top left, we have Isaiah Bradley, who I am actually excited to see back from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Not just because of his connections to the Young Avengers with Eli Bradley, which I would be fine if we didn't have Eli Bradley come back, because I don't think that they'll do his storyline from the comic. I think it's a little not Marvel friendly.
Yeah, and you gotta have the drugs if you're gonna do his story.
They also have to have them to write it. I just like I like that overall storyline of the forgotten super soldier from a marginalized group, because the thing that I'm most interested in, why I actually like Sam more than Steve, is because I think that Sam has a better understanding of the country that he represents.
Yes.
And Steve is very much one part of that country. And I'm just going to look off of yours. I keep going past it.
Technically, Sam is, or not Sam, but Steve is a boomer.
Steve is a boomer. But I like that he has more understanding of people's struggles, because Steve never really had to put up with any of that. They had to put up with fighting other countries and all of that fun stuff.
But not the fight within the country.
But not the fight within the country, which is scary relevant now. And then we also have, bottom left, we have Ruth, which all we really know about her is that she comes from the Black Widow program. I don't know if she will have any super soldier serum in her, because the MCU really hasn't established.
You would get a super serum. You would get a super serum.
Well, if people had their way during Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Sam would have taken it. They haven't established that the Red Room gives any type of serum like it does in the comics, which I personally don't care, because it's a comic book movie and everybody handles a lot more damage than they would be able to.
Yeah,
in
at the end
the
of like
world
3
anyways.
seconds, and I'd be crying in the corner.
Yeah, like Widow would be dead. Well, before she was dead. But yeah, we love Ruth. We stand her. She's a happy meal.
I heard somebody told me they wanted her cast as Kitty Pryde, or she'd be a good Kitty Pryde, which she's not here, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't think she would have. The girl looks tired.
I think somebody actually said that on a live stream for Grace Randolph.
Oh,
I think that's what you're getting it for.
But yeah, girl looks too tired to be Kitty Pryde anyway. So
Well, that's fine. It just makes her more relatable. We have the same bags under the eyes. And we also have Joaquin Torres, I believe his name is, as the new Falcon. And I'm excited for him, mostly because he barely had anything to do in the show. And so just to see a new Falcon take place and a new Captain America.
I hope that it's just technology and not like the comics where he's genetically.
What you
altered.
mean? You don't want it to be like the comic where he is an actual bird man?
Yeah, let's keep that face the way it is.
I mean, listen, Marvel is hiring Rick and Morty writers for literally everything nowadays. So I would not surprise me. I think it is I think it is technology,
I
because
hope so.
he just got Sam stuff. But if live action Birdman happens, I would not be surprised in the least. All right, moving on. So first of all, before we go on, because I believe this is our last character page, what do you think this movie is about?
I do not know.
That is a very
I
good
mean, it's
guess.
about the super soldier serum, because that's what made the Hulk and Captain America.
Yeah.
So they're both those characters are in this.
Well, I think very much this is setting up Thaddeus Ross hires Sam to unknowingly help him get whatever resources he needs to turn himself into the Hulk.
Yeah.
Or it's just part of the program and he takes the Hulk serum. I won't say super soldier serum. He takes the Hulk serum because he gets injured. Like maybe when Isaiah Bradley shoots him, if it does shoot him, maybe that's when they have to rush him down and he has to take the Hulk
He
serum.
does have heart problems.
Same. I did keto and my doctor said, stop, your heart can't take it.
I
But
remember that.
yeah,
True story.
my body remembers it too. But I think that that's what it's going to be about. And then Sam's not going to agree with it because Sam doesn't take anybody's crap and they're going to fight. And the White House is going to blow up and it's going to hit a little too close to home because this takes place like 4 months after the election, like in real life. So this character just keeps having bad timing with U.S. political timing.
It's because there's always something going on political.
Yeah, well, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier had to be completely reworked because they had a storyline. I think it was like the main storyline where it was an outbreak. And so they had to take care of that because that was during COVID. And now this one might be political issues of
Shooting.
Yeah, awesome. Timing is wonderful. But yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be less on the plot and more on the fighting.
Yes.
For those that are impatient, I think this is going to be the dude bro side of Marvel, as where Agatha is the
other side of the spectrum.
Yeah. So going on here, 3 stills from the actual trailer. What do you think's going on here?
I think this is Steve Rogers' funeral.
I was going to guess the same thing. So
he's also mentioned in the trailer of your no Steve Rogers,
which good because we had enough Steve Rogers.
So it could be a hot topic because it just came from the funeral.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think this might be Steve's funeral, which at least he's getting a funeral because in Endgame we got rid of Iron Man and Captain America, but we had this big send off for Iron Man and just a quiet goodbye for Cap.
Yes, which if they had said he went back to where the timeline that he was in with Peggy or what, that would have been one thing, but they left it open. And they even addressed the openness in Falcon and Winter Soldier. So I feel like they need to put a bow on that.
Cap's on the moon. But yeah, I think that this is the most appropriate space to give him his homage. I still don't think he's dead.
I think this is his funeral. And we're going to have an emotional moment because they're going to bury him next to Peggy.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
It could be weird because then she got remarried. Or married when he was in the ice. And it wouldn't be the Peggy that he would spend his life with because that's a different timeline, Peggy.
Honestly, I can't help you with this. I don't know. I mean, looking at the picture, is he by?
There's a tombstone like right there.
That's true. There's one right there. So yeah, he's being buried with somebody.
If you zoom in, you cannot see a name on that. So I wonder if that was digitally taken out for that moment.
Oh, I don't think it was on there. I think it was digitally added later. That way, set leaks can't happen. But yeah, I agree. Moving on. Next one.
That just now.
You're so quippy, so fast. All right, the next one. What do you think Sam is doing here?
Who would be in prison that he'd be visiting? Because that's what it looks like.
I also think he's visiting someone in prison. I think he's visiting Zemo. Because that's the only person that he really knows in prison, unless somebody else goes to prison.
Or could they be just how they're introducing the leader?
I'm okay if we don't like.
Because he's in the movie.
Didn't we have him in like the Hulk movie?
Yeah.
So it would be introducing him.
Well,
where he
is in the MCU now. Like I think in one of the shows that mentioned that he had been taken.
If we're doing Hulk stuff, it could also be Emil Blonsky.
Yeah, but the leader is in this. It's confirmed.
Yeah.
So he could be going to talk to the leader about like the Hulk serum.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Hannibal Lecter type thing.
Fair enough. I agree. I think he's going to go see somebody that's locked away. I don't know if it's a Hulk person or a dancing club person.
It just very much has that Hannibal Lecter feel to it. Like he's visiting someone in prison behind a bulletproof like security glass.
I mean, I'm all for it. Next. Last one. What do you think's happening here?
I mean, this just looks like lab, so the leader's lab probably.
Yeah, I think this is the Hulk growing lab.
Yeah.
Where they got little Hulk chia pets. They put the seeds on, water it, and then one turned red. But I think that this is where if Isaiah Bradley did end up injuring Thaddeus Ross, maybe they rush him down here and save him, and it all just comes full circle. But this definitely looked like a Hulk growing lab. It even kind of looks like Bruce Banner's little lab where he tested Jen. But this is I believe this is the last picture for the Captain America trailer.
There's not really much here other than just say, oh,
this is very much a trailer or a teaser trailer. I would agree. This is
evil
Hulk lab.
Yeah.
So a couple of burning questions about this one. Do you think that Sam will get the super soldier serum?
Yes. I think too many people wanted him to have it in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think that's gonna be the one up for him because he didn't want it. I think he's gonna have to have it.
See, I don't know. I kind of don't want him to have it just because people are so butthurt that he doesn't. I don't want them to win.
It would it would be impressive if he didn't have it and he was captain.
You know,
but
I mean, his suit is made of vibranium.
I cannot see a normal man going up against the Hulk and winning.
Black Widow did it.
I don't think Thaddeus Ross swings the way.
And Sam is just as seductive. Same tactics. Sam can go up to Red Hulk and do the lullaby on his hand and everything.
It'd be funny if that were for all Hulks.
It does. It's part of the experiment. What
weakness?
Do we think we'll see Bucky in this movie?
No, I do not. Sad.
I unfortunately don't think we'll see Bucky. If we do, it'll be super short because it'll have to set him up for Thunderbolts. And maybe he doesn't agree with something, and that's what makes him go toward the Thunderbolt route, because we kind of left him when he was amending for a step.
That's going to be the end credit scene. Just to set up for Thunderbolts, I guarantee it.
I mean, Thunderbolts is at least coming soon. I am really tired of them end credit scening things that take place 10 years later.
As much as I would love to see Bucky, because I love Bucky, I don't want him to be in this movie because I need room for the Falcon. Because I like Falcon too. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's an end credit scene.
Well,
and that's fine because that way I get a little taste of Bucky, and then
a lot of people would enjoy that.
Then I also get Falcon through the movie because I think Falcon is Sam's true sidekick. Bucky and Sam. So I just, as much as I like those two working together, Sam and Bucky, it's time for Bucky to move on so we can make room for Falcon.
That's fair. It's already a pretty crowded movie. All of these movies are super crowded. But after Deadpool and Wolverine, we might just, this is still like a 10th of the cast of that movie. So I agree. And we'll leave it at that. So we'll leave this one off of, what is your wish list for this movie?
I mean, I don't really have a wish list because it just looks good. I don't need a wish list for this movie because I've already seen everything that'll make me happy for the movie.
True. I think my wish list for this movie is not what's in the movie per se, because I think it'll be great. I love Sam, and I think that the overall new Captain America part of the MCU, I'm fine with it. I liked the show. I think my wish list is that just people don't tear it to shreds and people enjoy it and don't take it too seriously, because it is just a comic book movie. Like, I want people to enjoy it. And I'm so tired of the MCU is dead, MCU is back, MCU is dead. And it's been every project for like the past 20 projects. Like, it's not dead. You're just stupid.
Wouldn't it be nice if we just had another one of those movies where everybody just loved, like Barbie? Everybody got on the Barbie bandwagon.
Almost everybody.
And
there were some that still...
It felt very harmonious. Everybody was getting along. Everybody enjoyed it.
I got some good merch from it. I can't see myself getting as much merch from the Captain America movie as Agatha. I will buy every single thing that comes out for that show. I've been waiting since the last episode of WandaVision for this series. I don't know why they decided to greenlight it, because I think that it is rage bait central, but I'm happy for it. And if that's all I need from the MCU ever. Because I think that what people need to understand is they've made a few projects that you have really enjoyed. But just because you have really enjoyed, say, some of the earlier MCU movies, they don't owe you anything past that.
No, they've already given you something.
Right.
If anything, they are the people that didn't get something out of it.
Right. Like at the end of the day, these are comic book movies. Either you enjoy it or you don't. There's no need to attack other people for not liking it or attack the studio for not giving you exactly what you want, because they've already given you exactly what you want. Now they're appeasing more people. Like there's so many different comic books and so many different corners of the Marvel universe that not everything is going to be your favorite.
Well, and why does it have to be? Stan Lee's whole thing, which let's remember, he was the creator of these people. He wanted everyone to be seen as a superhero. That's why he created Spider-Man.
And that's why Spider-Man has a mask. That way anybody can be under the mask. And as of this year, everybody has been under the mask.
Shocker, that was Stan Lee's favorite superhero. Because it could be to everyone and anyone.
And my favorite is when people use like quotes of Stan Lee to be like, oh, Stan Lee believed that. No, Stan Lee was not a bigot. Stan Lee, like, it was everything he wrote was anti-bigot, anti-everything that all of the toxic people are standing up for now. So
so why not let somebody have a female Thor? Why not let us have a She-Hulk?
Listen, I like Jane more than Thor. I like She-Hulk more than Bruce. I like, who else has gotten a double? I like Sam more than Steve. Like, this is my part of the MCU. Y'all have had your time.
And see, that's the thing. Like, I like both of them. And I appreciate both of them and buy merch from both of them.
And you will have gotten both of them. And you can enjoy one more without making the world burn around you. Wow, this was Tangent Central. It's fine. This is the whole reason for us recording this video and making this channel is giving a more positive space, non-toxic, like.
It also goes along with our last story of DC casting.
True. It does go into our last. So we did our 2 trailers. We do have one more thing that I just wanted to mention today. I don't know how much there is to talk about because it's just a rumor. So moving on to that, Kumail Nanjiani has been heavily rumored to be Booster Gold in DC, which I have read and experienced way more Marvel things, but you know DC very well.
Yeah.
So I know Booster Gold is supposed to be kind of douchey and like.
Yes, he is. And that's what we love about him.
Yeah.
But I love this, which talk about race bending and the perfect character to use as an example. We have a Caucasian blonde male.
As our most early comic book characters.
And they race bend him. And their personalities are perfect. Well, like he is Booster Gold without happening to look like Booster Gold.
My thing is, I love Kumail Nanjiani. He is the most gorgeous person on the planet. He's so funny, and I loved him as Kingo, but I don't think they'll really go anywhere else with Kingo.
Well, Booster Gold and Kingo are very similar.
Yeah.
So
if Marvel's not going to use him, just give him to DC.
Yeah.
What I do know of Booster Gold, I think that he's a good fit.
It is. It's a perfect fit. I love it. And that just goes to show that sometimes race bending or gender bending, it's for the better. Because I think this improves.
It is a representation of that character and how they would be represented in today's world. Like a lot of comics were written.
Well, and the ironic thing is he's from even the future of us now. So like he's from the future.
If the future is any good, there will be no white people left. So, I mean, I'm all for it. I will never complain about getting more Kumail. And he did get super buff for Marvel, and they never gave him a shirtless scene. So, second chances.
But yeah, just 10 out of 10 for me.
He is a 10. And then I think after that, so let me get rid of our little graphic here, and you don't have to use the iPad anymore. So, other than that, the last parts we have of this video are just what's going on with you, what's new with you. It can be personal stuff. It can be Bleeding Rainbow Comics stuff. It can be anything you want. What's one or two things that, what's your life currently?
I didn't bring him up here. I have my little.
I'll superimpose him. How about this? You can talk about it and I'll put him right here in a box. Well, you take a picture of it and I'll insert
Nice.
him.
But
I don't know how to do that yet because this is our first video, but I will try my best. So what is
he
it?
might be here.
I'll hold him. You go for it.
I just realized that there was not, out of all pops that everything is made for Funko Pop, there's not a Freakazoid. And I wanted a Freakazoid for my office, and I made him. And he looks awesome.
I mean, he looks good. Like most custom pops look terrible, but yours looks pretty good. He's spent a lot of time on the couch. We've been doing a Smallville rewatch, so I guess that's a joint what's going on now. So he's just been watching Smallville and working on his Freakazoid Funko Pop. And,
It was a lot easier than I thought it would be.
no, you sculpt a lot, and so it's mostly what you sculpted his hair and trimmed down the belt.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you use as the base?
Mr. Incredible.
So a Mr. Incredible Funko Pop from, I believe, The Incredibles 2.
And just sculpt a little bit of hair and painted him up. And
You gave him a haircut first, though.
that's true.
Didn't he have like the?
Yeah, he had the little bump in the front there for his widow peak,
And anybody that does any type of crafty stuff or art stuff knows that some of it looks scary before it looks pretty. But yeah, it does look pretty good.
in your defense, I was trying to cut it off with a.
That's
back
true.
there.
That's why it was scary. So I look over on the couch and he's just sitting there with an X-Acto knife trying to cut off the hair of a Funko Pop. And mind you, it wasn't easily cutting.
And it was at night.
And it was at night. And past 7 p.m., I am not coherent. I am tired. I'm half asleep on the couch. And I just look over and he's stabbing this Funko Pop and it is barely cutting. I mean, it was scary. I did not appreciate it. I'm glad this project is over. And do you know what you're doing for your next project? I don't. We try to keep busy. Yeah, too much time with our thoughts. We need to keep doing something.
I'm excited for our comic book. The 5th issue is almost done.
Yes, we are. For those of you that know us, because of Bleeding Rainbow Comics, we are a comic book company that writes comic books specifically for queer voices. And we have issues 1 through 4 available on Comixology/Amazon Kindle currently. Am I allowed to say how far along issue 5 is?
Yeah.
Okay. So issue 5 has actually, it is almost done. It has been scripted. It has been completely drawn. It is almost finished. I am just putting on the text of it. Because we concept together and I write the formal script. He draws all of the art, which takes way more time than anything else that is required of the book. And then I put the text in and do all the digital distribution, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it is almost done. I am lettering it right now and it will be out soon. So I don't know, in like 2 to 70 videos, look for an announcement for that to be ready, because
I'm ready for it to be done.
I am too, because is there anything on the horizon past Spectrum?
Yes.
And that's all we're going to say about that. We've spent a lot of time looking at what our next story is going to be. We are not going to continue Spectrum right away. We have ideas where it would go if we were to go past this story arc that we've done. But we have a new story that we are getting ready to tell, and we are super excited for it because it is not our first comic book anymore. That was our training ground, and we love Spectrum, but we're very passionate about our next project, and it's been in the works since 2019. Yes, because anytime we work on anything, we have little Google Docs, and it gives us whenever the document was created. So we've been working on this one since 2019. We've been working on Spectrum a little bit before that. And we have more stories in the works past that, and we're ready to ramp it up and tell more stories because we need more
characters in my head that I need to get out.
got characters and voices, and he's got a lot in there. So we're gonna pour all of that out into some new books and new stories, and we both have stuff we're working on independently and working on coming together.
Did you want to say anything about your
Oh,
cosplay project?
the what I am doing right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not currently working on any cosplay projects. Some of you know that I do cosplay props and outfits. I did start a TikTok, I think like October of last year when I was making my Midoriya Halloween outfit. I don't know what my TikTok handle is, but I will also insert that right here. So follow me on TikTok. Or don't. I really don't care. So I am right now, I watched all 3 seasons of The Runaways for the very first time the first week of June. I'd been wanting to watch it for a little bit, especially because I was interested in Nico's character arc because I played Midnight Suns. And I'm way more obsessed with Nico now than I was before.
She is a magic character.
She's a magic character. Like I said, Marvel Magic. It's my jam. So I am on the tail end of making the Staff of One. I have quite a bit left to do. I have weathering and more painting and staffering with it, but here's the kind of first look. I'm not exactly 100% ready, happy with it, but more stuff needs to happen around here. I also got a shovel handle from, what was it, Lowe's or Home Depot that is sprayed this, and it will be like a full staff, and it's scaled for my height, so it will be fairly tall. So I'm excited for it. I have spent way too long on it. And maybe by the next video, I'll have something to show for it. That would be swell, because I am also very over this taking up our entire dining room table. It hasn't been empty in a month because of it, but I think it's looking kind of cool. It is not functional. I could not do spells on it or anything, but I will take what I can get. I'm also afraid that I'm going to break it, so I'm going to put it down. And I guess the last part of this video is just making sure that we, advertise ourselves. So like I said, we have Spectrum 1 through 4 available on Comixology / Amazon Kindle, wherever digital comic books are sold. Yeah, check it out. I will put a link in the comments below. I'm learning how to do all that. I'll do the YouTube lingo. Like and subscribe, or don't.
Would it be like right here, right?
Yeah, like and subscribe under this video. I think it's on this side. I don't know. The camera might be flipped. We'll see when I actually go back and watch this. I also learned how to make a video background for the very first time. So we are actually on the Witch's Road, and we have our little bleeding rainbow logo. I learned how to put together a green screen. I learned how to do that too much. And hopefully the next time we make a video, I will have a little bit better grasp on it. And if this video is jank, that's okay. It's our first one. If there's anything that you can think of to help improve the video, if you are a YouTube person, please help me. Bring me snacks.
I had on a green shirt before we started.
That's true. We are learning. He had on an entire green outfit, and then he sat down and his head just popped out. So yeah, we are learning. But yeah, like and subscribe if you like this, and if you don't, go watch something else. Why are you still here at the end of this video? How long have we been going on? Well over an hour now.
Maybe we'll
I don't know if I can vouch for that. But if you like this and want more content of us talking about nerdy stuff or queer culture or comics, stay tuned. But until next time, see ya!